Do I got some music? I don't even know if I got some music. Is that playing? I don't know. Let's see. What's my output? Listen, I'll figure it out. Let's go live. I'll figure it out sometime. Guys, I got a microphone. I got myself a microphone. Yeah. Well, I don't know if this makes it any better because I know that it's been, yeah, I'm probably going to have to get a popper and get all this stuff. And right now I'm just in I got some pictures for my office. I've just got my pictures on the floor. I'm going to put some stuff up. But I got a poster with like a bad word on it, so I don't think I could put that up behind me because I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, you know, I don't know how serious I'm going to get about this stream and stuff, but I think it's just kind of cool, to just come on and show people that it's okay to become a developer or at least to do the learning. So that's no bad thing, right? It's no bad thing to just to do the learning and see where it gets you. I might become a freelancer. I might be able to. I just watched the 100 Devs class. I think it's class 15 on getting your first freelance client. And look, I'm every day in a show in the West End, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a freelance client right about now. But you don't know. I might do it and just use the time that while I'm learning during the day to make a website for one of our local businesses here where I live. There are a lot of developers, but the people around here mightn't be able to access those developers. I got a new phone. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Yeah, the people in my local community mightn't be able to have access to those really fancy developers, Maybe I'll turn my mic volume up a little bit. I'm working it out, guys. I'm working it out. So I'm just trying to figure it out. But maybe if I don't have to be so close up to the microphone when I'm doing it. Am I recording this one? I'm not. And as you can see, I'm in my, I think I did some hotkeys. I'm in my comfy clothes. The curls are curling. I need to put my blinds up. So there's like stuff from DIY. This is, as you can see, really bad wallpapering. Really bad wallpapering that happened. And I didn't, it's thermal wallpapering, and I couldn't get it to line up properly because this is an old house and it's all really higgledy-piggledy, and I could have gotten a professional to do it, I guess, but it's just my office. Nothing's really happening in here. Let's go back to live. Nothing's really happening in here other than me chatting with you all, and it's raining. It's raining. You know what's good about the rain? You might hear the rain in the microphone, but what's good about the rain is that you can't hear. What you can't hear is the people doing works outside. So that's good because they've all had to go inside. Yeah. So I was talking about maybe trying to get something done as a freelancer, as a freelance web developer. It's possible, and I might be old. I might be old for entering the marketplace, old for trying to go and get a job in a big junior developer or full stack developer job in one of those big companies. I might be too old for that, but that's okay. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible. You just never know. I don't know if I'm ready to not be an actor yet, so that's my situation. But I don't want to say that it's impossible for the people who might really want that and might be heading into the third chapter of their life, like I am. Well, I like to call it chapter 25 years, right? Oh, so they might be, so, I'm just finishing my second chapter and next birthday, and I might be I'm going into my third chapter, and I might be ready to learn something new, do something new. You just never know. So, I'm restoring my new phone. I had to buy a new phone. So this is what happened to me. I got my phone swiped. I was coming home from, did I tell you all about that last time I streamed? That's the thing. I need to write down what it is I talk about, because I am an old lady, and, I'll be whittering on about the same old things over and over again, huh? Yeah. So I was walking home from the theater late at night, and, just finished my show. It was raining, so I had my big old raincoat on, and I had my hood up. And I'm usually pretty good with my belongings, but I got myself, I don't know what it is I was doing. I was walking with a friend. We were talking. She said that I turned around, and there was a guy who walked really close to us at one point in front of the Lego store. And she said I turned around and looked at that person. But I have no recollection of that. But as I said, I'm an old lady, so who knows, right? If you come to view, please say hi in the chat. It'd be nice to have some engagement. I'm trying. I know a lot of these streams, they normally get about one viewer, and I don't know if they stick around for a long time, but, I'm trying. And that's okay. That's okay too. Maybe that one viewer comes and then they go away again, but I don't know. But, thank you for popping in, whoever it is. Yeah, so I was just walking, and I got to the train station, and of course, I used my phone to ping in and out of the barriers to get onto the train. And don't lose connection, Codeacademy. I promise I'll do an exercise. And yeah, I put my hand in my pocket, and my phone was no longer there. Oh gosh, it was so boring. It's just a really boring thing. Fortunately, I have my computer with me, so I walk around with my laptop now. It's a little tiny laptop. It's like, a Huawei or something. It's, I just bought it when I was doing my master's or something. And I walk around with it all the time, just in case I get 15 minutes or 5 minutes out of my day, especially when it's busy, to do a little coding exercise and just keep my skills up, And yeah, it just got swiped. My phone just got picked out of my pocket. And it's really sad. How's my microphone? If I still have a viewer, could you tell me how my microphone's doing? I'm using a new microphone today. The last time I did a stream, I thought I was using my headphone microphone, but actually I was using the microphone from the webcam, and so that was like quite muffly sound. I think I've got the webcam mic muted now. Is there music playing? I don't even know. Did I mute the music? I've got Streamlabs music. Do I have to play it? What about if I do that? I can't. Oh, something's playing, but I don't know what it's playing to. Maybe it's playing to the thing. It's playing to the TV. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna mute that. I'm maybe turn that music off. Yeah, that's very cool. Okay, I don't know. Uh, yeah, so it's raining outside. I've got my new microphone that's plugged in and it's getting some sound. I'm trying to get my phone restored from my backups, which I wasn't even sure that I was backing up my phone, but I hope I was because I got some stuff on there. I think I managed to put all my payment stuff back on it. Yeah, so as I was saying, I had my laptop with me, and so when I got my phone swapped, I was able to get on the phone and get onto that train Wi-Fi and put an erase on the phone, try to track it. It was of course turned off because they swipe it and they turn it off immediately. They're not trying to get that phone back to you, not even for a reward. I would think that they would try to get it back to you for a reward, but they're not even doing that. Anyway, so yeah. They took it. So I was able to get that stopped, still, I've got an erase on it, I've got a reported stolen on it. It was an old phone. To be fair, I wasn't that sad. It was like an iPhone 11 or something like that. I wasn't gonna, if I didn't get it swiped, I wasn't gonna change it. I was not gonna change it. I was gonna just have it there like normal, just keep going until it stopped. But yeah, so I was able to do that. I ordered a new phone. I got my new SIM sent to me. So yeah, I got my iPad, my old out again. Look at this is not a new one. This is like, it's old. It's an old thing. So, okay, restore completed. Let's see. It said restore completed. So let's see what's, I know, I promise you this is not, okay, I could do that. Silent mode. No, I'm not going to do that. Yep. It's put all the things back on. So now it's got to download everything. So, okay. I have mail. All my mail is there. All right. All right. I got some note and whatnot. But that's okay. So we got some stuff. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, cool. We got some stuff. It's all there. All right. It's all downloaded now, so I'm gonna let. Oh, thank you. I don't need any promote, but thank you so much, though. That's so cool. It's, what's kind of cool? It's kind of cool getting a little message in the chat, even though it is one of those things that trying to sell me a service. But I'm like brand new. I don't know that I don't need a service right now. I'm okay. But thank you. That's so nice of you to offer. And I'm gonna keep it in mind for when I get more than one follower and more than one person watching my feed, which is you. But thank you. And you didn't bother me at all. Thank you for trying to sell me stuff. That's kind of cool. At least I know my chat works. So that's cool. Thank you so much. Anyway, so yeah, my phone is doing stuff. I've got my devices in front of me. They're all getting it done. Thank you. Oh, that's so cool. Right. So I guess I didn't want to just come on here and just like chat about stuff. But I also wanted to chat about learning how to code at my age. And one day I'm gonna take the black and white filter off, and I'm gonna put some makeup on. and maybe comb my hair, but that day is not today. Yeah, I wanted to chat doing that, and I've got my Codeacademy exercises to do as well. We've just gone on to functions. I've been doing all the other stuff. See, this is the thing though about having the microphone, is that now I have another obstruction, because all of this is on my regular size screen, because I have an ultra wide screen in the front of me. So all of this is in my regular size screen to the side, because I was given the excellent advice not to stream on an ultra wide, which is tremendous advice. So thank you for that. But it means that the screen that I'm working on is over there. So I'm actually just using the like Streamlabs preview to work on in front of me, so that I'm not just doing like that, because nobody ergonomically, it's not great working like that, is it? It's yeah, I'm the only user in the chat. Let's refresh the chat. And yeah, just to get rid of that. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I've got, sometimes you see me going up to here, but it means that what I used to use the corner of my eye to look out to see what it is I was doing over there, I can't now, because I've got the microphone with me, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay. I could probably put Streamlabs on something else, maybe on my iPad. Yeah. I gotta figure out my setup. I gotta figure out how it all works. Figure out my setup. And yeah. But you know what? I didn't want to just not do it. I didn't want to not do it live. I didn't want to not, just stay off of the platform trying to figure it out, and then this one, it keeps disconnected. Yeah, just trying to figure it out, and then wait until I know all the things to come. I kind of like this. I like this. It's my version of build in public. It's figuring out streaming, figuring it all out, and yeah, and doing it in front of you, because I don't know if it's working, but it might be working, but it might not. I also don't tell anybody. I don't advertise these streams anyway. I don't tell anybody that I'm doing it. So I don't know. It must be folly. I don't have that many followers on, well, certainly for my coding X, Twitter. We all call it Twitter. My coding Twitter. I don't have a lot of active followers. So I don't know, and I don't know if I have any followers who are learners as well. But listen, I'm doing this for myself. I'm making it public what it is I'm doing, and if people decide to join me along the way, then that's pretty cool. All right, so where am I? Okay, I think I did this one already. So we were talking about functions. JavaScript functions behave like any other data type in the language. So it's functions are a data type. They're not a primitive data type. They're they're an object, really, I guess. So because of that, we can use methods. Yeah, first-class objects. There it is. You see, it says in functions are first-class object. That means like other objects you've encountered, JavaScript functions can have properties and methods. So they have a property like .length and .name. I didn't know that. And I said, let's open the documentation in a new tab and go have a look. Yeah. There's a function. The name of the function, the length, the display name. Wow. Call to string of the source code inside of the function. Look at that. That's kind of cool. I did not Do you know, I have been practicing with my JavaScript homework how to write functions, but I did not know that functions, because they are first class objects, would have properties like length and name, and would be able to have methods used on them. That's so cool. So we learned something new today. There we go. We just yeah. We're just restoring. We're continuing to restore. I'm doing a million things. I'm doing one other thing. But because I'm old, it feels like I'm doing a million things. Anyway, so we did that. We run that. We got all of our, look at that, all of our check marks. This is like real positive reinforcement, isn't it? You do everything so that you can, and it gives you a little X if you don't do it right. Sometimes I don't do it right because I don't pay attention, or I don't read. Every time if I see text like this whole big chunk of text, I do not want to read it. I super don't, but I am going to read it because I'm doing my homework with y'all. This is my class 15 homework, I believe. Okay, as you know, a parameter is a placeholder. That's it for the data that gets passed into the function. Functions can accept other functions as parameters. I know that. Higher order functions is a function that accepts functions as parameters, returns a function, or both. We call functions that get passed in as parameters callback functions. I guess we'll be using callbacks a lot with async await functions. Are they called functions? You see, this is why when I'm talking out the side of my neck, it's like, do I know? Why am I using that? Why am I using that information? Why am I saying those words? Because do I know? I do not know. Okay? All right. Callback functions. Higher order function pass another function in as an argument. We don't invoke the argument function, invoking it with a value passing in a return value of the function call. Callback functions, we pass in the function itself by typing the function name. Okay. So, okay, we're using our functions here. I'm so sorry. While I'm updating my UK phone, I've got a US phone, and yeah, it sometimes makes a noise. I forget. I don't turn my alerts on at all when I use a phone. I don't have notifications turned on at all. But it's I think when I was living in New York, I lived in New York for a couple of years, over the past couple of years, and when we were there, we were having such bad weather, so I had to have the weather app notifications turned on, because it would tell us if we were having, because we had what was it, that smoke all the way over from Canada, that because they had wildfires, and there were like really bad dust storms, like the sky was orange, and I'm asthmatic, so I need to know when the sky is going to be orange. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. Anyway, right, so wrote higher order func, single param, using parentheses, divided strings return. Okay, this is what's happening here. So they wrote higher order func. It gets a parameter, and this is the function here. So, and it returns. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know what this is. Here we have a function add two, adds two numbers. It adds two. Oh, right. It adds two to whatever. Well, inside the body of check consistent output, declare. What am I doing? Declare two variables. So let check A sum of two. Check A val plus two. Right. You see? You see how it gets it wrong, and then you get little x, and then you got it. But it tells you what to do, though. I don't know if I understand what's going on here, but let's see. So this is a function that takes the function and a value as its parameters, and it returns check A, which is the value plus 2, and check B, which is whatever function it's taken as a parameter plus the value. So this and this, right? Okay. Write a conditional state below the variables. Write a conditional checks to see is checks the value. What? I'm so confused. Write a conditional statement checks if the value of check A is equal to the value of check B. Okay. If check A is equal to check B, return func. Is that right? Else return inconsistent. Return check B, because check B is return check B. Is that right? Huh. That was right. Because it said return the result of the callback function, and check B is the result of the callback function, a function that takes okay, that makes sense. All right, finally using invoke log the invocation of check consistent output. Okay. This is add two. And am I doing that with, am I calling it? And let's do it with two. No, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, I think, without the, yeah. No. Yeah, it's in there. Oh, right. I think I forgot my extra paren. but I think I need to invoke it. Oh no, no, I did it. So I did. What would happen if I put the thing here? No, yeah. So I need to call if you're adding the I'm looking over here, aren't I? If I'm adding a function to another function, I have to do it without the parens. And there you go. It takes a number 2, it adds a number 2 to it. Right, check A, function, and a value. So check A is going to be function 2. What happens if I do that? Let's break it and see. So I get to my inconsistent result because this is not equal to that. This is a really convoluted way to try to teach us about callbacks. What do you think? Also, I don't remember them teaching us how to write arrow functions, but remove. What else is happening here? I'm occasionally checking my phone to see how my updating's going, you know. So, we're doing some stuff. I thought I was going to... Yep, that's all set up. I thought I was going to be able to use my American phone to put in my British SIM, and so I logged out of my American iCloud account, and now I can't log back in. It's so frustrating. Anyway, nobody needs to know that. You're being part of my life today. Again, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So functions as parameters. What did I learn? Functions can behave like other data types, and so therefore they can be passed as a parameter to another function. This is a function, there's a difference between a function declaration and a function expression. And a function expression is one that's added to a variable, isn't it? That's right. Function declaration would be one where I just put the function word. I just declare it without, if I started function add to is equal parameter open curly braces, that's a function declaration. Okay. And these are function expressions. So higher order functions, this is what we wrote here. So add to is just a regular function expression, but check consistent output here is a higher order function because it accepts a function as a parameter. It's not returning a function, but it could be either or. I think it's a higher order function if it either accepts a function as a parameter, returns a function, or it does both. This one doesn't do both. I'm sorry. This one just accepts a function and then it returns. It grabs a couple values. It returns a value, or a value or a statement if it's false. There we go. There we go. Right. What else is happening? What else is new? I haven't really checked. Ooh. I stopped speaking for a minute because I went to look at the camera on my new phone. I've had an iPhone 11 for such a long time that I was quite used to the really regular looking photos and videos that that did, and I just got distracted because I was looking to see if everything was finished backing up, and I got distracted and opened the camera, and then I just forgot that we were here doing functions, right? So we learned about callback functions, um, functions that get passed in as we learned that functions behave like any other data type and therefore can be passed as parameters in other functions. We call higher order functions functions that take functions as parameters, return functions, or do both. Functions that get passed in as parameters are called callback functions, and they get invoked during the execution of the higher order function, which is what this happened here. So this here is a callback function that got invoked as this variable here, function and val, which is what this is. This is a callback function that gets executed during the execution of this higher order function. And this is a higher order function because it takes, I'm doing my active recall, guys. I'm doing my active recall because it really, really matters. You can know this stuff in your brain, but if you can't speak this stuff out, then when you go to a technical interview, I doubt if I go to a technical interview, somebody's going to be asking me about higher order functions. But you just never know. You never know. If you don't use active recalls and use the terminology that people are expecting to hear, then when you're in that interview or you're speaking to a client, then you're going to sound like if you're just chatting gibberish. It will sound, even though you have it in your head and you think, I know all of this. I'm going to go big for a minute. You think, I know all of this. It's in my head. I know exactly what a function is. I know exactly what a callback function is. I know exactly what what I want to say, but I can't use the terminology because it's too frustrating or whatever. I don't know. We have to use the active recall, so we put the terminology into our brains, into our vocabulary, into the way that we speak. So I can talk about higher order functions and I could talk about callback functions because I keep talking about it now, and tomorrow I've got to come back. So I'm going to later on, I'm going to put that in my Brainscape cards. I'm not using Anki because Anki is a bit clunky, but I put that in my Brainscape cards, and I can walk around on my phone and I can keep checking that I know what it is I'm talking about when I talk about higher order functions, when I can explain what higher order functions are, that they're functions that take functions as parameters, return a function, or they can do both. When I can tell you that functions can behave like other data types and be passed in. When I tell you that functions that are passed in to higher order functions are called callback functions. That's what I mean by the active recall, because I keep saying it, I keep doing it, and I put it in my mouth. I'm able to wrap my mouth around these things so that when somebody else asks me, I'm able to recall it, produce it in no time at all, right? So let's go back to live, right? So what do we learn? It's a data type like any other, can be passed in as a parameter. Higher order functions take functions as parameters or return them, and those functions that are passed in are called callback functions. Callback functions get invoked during the execution of higher order functions. I didn't understand that paragraph. I didn't understand this whole paragraph when we first started, when I clicked onto this page. Didn't get it. The argument function. Here we go, you see? And you remember I was trying to figure out what it is I would do here. if I would add 2 and then add in the parentheses. But here it is. You see, I gotta read. I gotta do better with my reading. With callback functions, we pass in the function itself by typing the function name without the parentheses. Right? We don't invoke the argument function. So if I passed in the argument, if I passed in the function as an argument with the parentheses, that would be me invoking the return value of the function call. And I don't want to do that. I want to pass in the function. I want the function to be able to be used within the higher order function. So there we are with function calls, with callback functions. We pass in the function itself by typing the function name without the parentheses. It's fine. I'm going to take as long as I need to take on this one exercise, just so that I know exactly what it is I'm talking about. Oh, the rain has stopped. Can you hear? Can you hear? Don't you be timing out. I'll be right back with you. I was just wondering if you could hear the drilling. They're all drilling back there. All right. I hope whoever, I don't know that I have, it's just me. I don't know that I have any viewers. It's showing me that I've got 1 viewer, but that might just be me. Or it might be that person who was trying to sell me stuff. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I was just checking to see if I could see who was here with me. But I can't. I don't know how that works. Not yet. Not yet. But that's all right. Okay. Right. So there we go. And we were able to get through all of our exercises. There was a function that was given to us. They created another function here. And we were able to pass in a check, basically. We're going to check that what we're doing in this higher order function is the same as what would happen here in this callback function. Ooh, I just suddenly got so hungry, you know. I'm gonna try with this music again. Oh, I gotta be playing the music first. Let's see. It's playing. But I don't know. Can you hear it? I'm messing about with settings and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works, but you know, right now I might be blowing your ears up with some jazz. So that I'm not, and I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it for a minute. Okay. That's funny though. That is funny. I'm not trying to get got, as Leon says. I'm not trying to get got with stuff. Am I stuck? You know, I'm not trying to get got um, with getting a copyright strike or anything. I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm not gonna pay like play even 2 seconds of music that's not supposed to be streamed. I'm gonna get that royalty free stream music um, from Streamlabs and figure out how it goes. Anyway, right. So what we do, we put in 2 checks, and there I changed my function up here just to see if I go back to, let's put it back on here to 2, and we're gonna run it, and we should get the value of running that with that function, that callback function with this value. Let's change this value. 6 plus 2, it's gonna be 8, right? So we should get 8. And there we go, we got 8 in our result. But if I change this up here to be something else, then the first check, value plus 2, which is this, 6 plus 2, is not going to be equal to number plus 3, right? It's because 6 plus 3 is going to be 9. So we should get inconsistent results put out there. So let's see if we run that. Yeah, we do. There we go. We did it. We did it. So let's see what. Okay, that's it. Is that it? We just. I did that. What happens if you change the value of 2 and check A? Variable holds a callback. Okay, which variable holds a callback function? So that's func, right? Check B. Holds a callback function. What happens if you invoke the function's argument? Well, we got. You see what I did that, right? When I put that in there with the brackets, that was me invoking the functions, the callback. And so we didn't need to do all of that. Okay. So I think I just got to the end of the end of higher order functions. It was like, that's the only thing about Codeacademy is that because they want you to pay for their I don't know, I've just went all the way over here and I didn't know if you could hear me anymore. Because they want you to pay for all of their content, so yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So all the really good stuff is like kind of hidden behind a paywall, which is fine because they should. They can't be like teaching you for free. I can go on. Ooh. I was just about to blast them. They do have stuff hidden behind paywalls, and they should. But you know what? They teach you loads. They teach you loads for free. And these sites, these MOOCs, well, it's not an online campus, but these great sites like Codeacademy and Free Code Camp and whatnot, they take a lot of money to run. And so they gotta, they do have to make sure that they be able to do that. Let me just go to. I'm looking at all sorts of stuff while I'm talking to you. So anyway, but they do give us a whole. We're talking about iterators now. I don't know why higher order functions came in here. In a section about iterators? That's weird. Well, I suppose because, I understand. Because we're talking about array methods. Now, we're going to talk about array methods because the for each method, the .map method, filter method, find index of method, a reduce method, they're all array methods. And they're all higher order functions because they take functions, callback functions, as their parameter. So I guess we're going to learn about that now, and that's really exciting. Okay. So let's have a look. Imagine you had a grocery list and you wanted to know what each item on the list was. So I could write a for loop for that. I could have a list as an array and do a for let I equal 0. I is less than the array dot length, and then an iterator I plus plus, and then I could write out console.log my grocery list, which is my array dot square brackets I. It will start at 0 because arrays are 0 based, 0 indexed. What do they say? Oh, and you know, sometimes when I'm talking to myself, I wish that I had viewers that would come in and correct me. But they're 0 based, so they start at 0. In arrays have indices on each of the items in the array, and they all start at 0. They start at 0. So this one would be artist square bracket 0 would be Picasso. There we are. Right, so I can scan through each row and check each of the items. The common task is similar to what we have to do when we want to iterate over or loop through an array. One tool at our disposal is the for loop, which I just talked about. However, we can also access built-in array methods, which make looping easier. The built-in JavaScript array methods that help us iterate are called iteration methods, and at times they're just called iterators. I didn't know that. I just called them array methods. Methods that we called on arrays to manipulate elements and return values. Learn the syntax, blah, blah, blah. Inspect the code. Let's look at each one. There's a for each, which will loop through an array and look at each one and do something with it for each of these. So here we have, this is the array artists, and it's an array of artists, and we said this is our array, and for each artist in the array, so it's taking here a callback function. So that's our arrow function here. We want to console.log with concatenation, which I think we've stopped doing for a long time now. We now use string templates. This person is one of my favorite artists. For each of these, it will console.log. Picasso is one of my favorite artists. Carlo is one of my favorite artists. Matisse. And then Utamaro. Is that what I call? Amazing. Okay. So that's the for each loop. So here we have now an array of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the array. 5 square numbers. So I think what map does is it goes through for each of these numbers here, and then you can make a new array and you will map each item onto the array. You know what I was just wondering? I was wondering, so it's making a new one, right? It's making, and you can put exactly, well, it won't be. It can never be. Right. So it's making a new array, and it's mapping each number in the original array. And in this case, you're returning, you're manipulating the number, returning that value, and then mapping that on into the new array, which is called square numbers. So this one is multiplying each number in the array by itself, number by number. So numbers don't map for number. For each number in numbers, it's multiplying the number by itself, and then it's returning the value and mapping it on to a new array called square numbers. So it's like you do this. Another way that we would do this would be doing a for loop, and then so you create an empty array called square numbers, do a for loop, loop through via the for loop this array, manipulate it, and then push that number into the new array. But this one is like easy. Look at it, it's like one line of code instead of a callback function. That's fantastic. Now this is cool. So this is the filter. And I think what that does, so you got an array of things. What it does is and I don't think the name of this parameter here, this, I don't think it really matters. All you're saying is like a temporary holder for each of the things. Each of the items in the array, not the things. Not the thingy bobs. Come on, cat. You can do better. So again, you make a new array. You get the array here and you filter. And what it will do is for each item in the things array, it will check. So you're filtering out. It's like a sieve, I guess. I'm figuring this out here. It's filtering out the items in the original array that meet a condition. So this one says return type of thing, return type of, which is equal to number. So it'll go in, this is thing, in things, and it'll say, is that the type of desk equal to number? No, so we're not going to put that in any numbers. It'll go into chair, type of chair equal to number? No, that's a string. So we go and we look at 5. Is that, I'm going to sneeze again. I'm so sorry. I am in a show. I'll tell you, this is a story of my silent sneeze. I'm in a show that means I have to stay on stage for the entire time. So and sometimes you need to, if you're going to be on stage, you need to sneeze and whatnot, right? So I've learned how to like silent sneeze, and I've learned how to sneeze without even like shaking my head. It's just or sometimes not even making the movement or sound or any indication that I've made a sneeze, but I have to sneeze on stage. And you have to not disturb the course of the action that's going on stage. So that's something. Hey, does any of my listeners know how to make it so that when I do this, that you're not just seeing my icky background? Is that something that I have to do in my webcam? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. You see how I get distracted? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how it's done. Okay, let's go back to right, we were talking about filter, right? Yeah, so it goes through every item of a particular array. They have a condition. This one is return the thing is equal to a number. So it will go, I've just gone desk and chair, go to 5. Is that a number? Yes. So we're going to put that in. We're going to filter that into only numbers. Backpack is an array. 3.14 pi is a number, so that's going to be filtered into only numbers. And 100 is a number, so that's going to be filtered into 100. I believe that the original array is unchanged. Let's right. Well, let's console that one. Things. Yeah, so the original array is unchanged. I think for all of these, the original arrays just that nothing happens to them. They're not destroyed. These methods are just iterators. They help you go through everything in the array. So let's see what's happened here. For each, it console.logged for each of these artists in the array artists, these sentences here. Then for square numbers, we got an array of numbers here. We were able to, I'm going to just run that again just so that it doesn't have the old thing on there. Yep, and go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we were able to square each of multiply number by itself, number by number. So 1 by 1 is 1, 2 by 2 is 4, 3 by 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25. And we got a new array, square numbers, which we've logged onto the console, that it returns an array of the squares of the original array. And then we have the filtered array. So we've got an array of things. We only want to filter in all the bits of the array, all the items in the things array that are actually numbers. And I know this is a float, but we don't have that type in JavaScript. Decimal numbers are just numbers. And so 5, 3.14, which is pi, and 100 get put into a new array called only numbers. And that array is logged to the console. So we learned a couple things today. It's an hour, so I gotta go take a break now. I might come back, who knows, to chat some more. Maybe somebody might join me again later on. Thank you for just kind of like being here with me. I didn't record this or anything because I need to verify some stuff and get some more engagement here on stream. And maybe I'll figure out how to do that. But yeah, right now it's just all chilled. It's all chilled. I get like on average 1 viewer, and I don't know that they stick around. Maybe they don't, but it's all chilled. So maybe I'll come back. I gotta go write down all the stuff that I knew. I gotta walk around, have something to drink, get a new cup of tea, because the cup of tea that I have on the go has gone all cold. So thank you so much again, and I'll see you all later, okay?